Bill, he's been a star for us, Chris. From the moment we bought him unsold at Tattersalls, it's been a great adventure with this horse, and obviously a very big day at Royal Ascot a couple of years ago, and then fantastic to see him win in Meydan in January, where I think Terry Spargo's call, he didn't call him Belgian Bill, he just called him Old Bill. He's a great friend to us, but he's got a bit of a following away from this place as well. And he seems in great order. He ran a hell of a race in Midsummer to be second in the Betfred Mile. The first two were well clear and didn't run badly in Arlington. Disappointing on his most recent run, but freshening him up, and hopefully he'll jump off the plane. Raring to go. He loves the travelling, and it's a massive part of his life. He thoroughly enjoys going out there.
And he's already been 3 times to Dubai, I think 12, 13 and 15, so 2016 just another adventure for him.
He genuinely, when you put the travelling boots on him in his stable, he knows, and he comes raging out of his stable and jumping on the lorry, and off he goes down the road. I think he gets a bit bored here, and not surprisingly, he enjoys being in sunnier climes in January and February.
And that Meydan success, I think I counted back 4 necks and a short head. That was some race, and great to get your head in front. It
was fantastic, and Dark Emerald, who was second to us on that occasion, of course, he had a wonderful winter for Brendan Powell out there, and we had a lot of fun and a lot of excitement with the horse. It was a fantastic ride on that occasion by Richard Mullen, and then Bill wasn't disgraced on his next 2 runs. He went close, was third and fourth, and it was fantastic. And of course, history very rarely repeats itself in this silly sport of ours, but it would be great to think that we've got another year in the old boy.
And the Royal Hunt Cup victory at Royal Ascot, that must have been fantastic. That was a bit more clear success than the Meydan close call.
It was, it was the Hunt Cup. You never expect to win a Hunt Cup, and a furlong out, I could see James Doyle still sitting quietly, and I thought we're running a hell of a race here. We're going to be in the first 10, and then of course when he went past me 50 yards from the line and stuck his old neck out, it was I think a genuinely a life-changing moment. No one can ever take that away from us. You're forever. You've got the Royal Ascot winner notched off, and an awful lot of people haven't. A great thrill, and he's been a superstar for us, and we're going to miss him when Anno Domini catches up with him. And I don't know, I guess we said this time last year that we thought this year would be his last year, but maybe next year, and who knows.
Well, he's 7 now. Does he still retain all that enthusiasm, do you feel?
I think so. Generally, Patrick Murphy, my wonderful assistant, who rides him most of the time, he knows Bill inside out. And some mornings he can be a bit scratchy and a bit grumpy, and you just send him off around the farm and try and freshen him up. And I think we just know him so well now, and we know when he's in good order. He seems in very good form now. He's very happy in himself. Of course, you're unlikely to be improving when you're about to turn 8, but I guess we didn't really expect him to be winning at Meydan age 7, so long may it continue.
And he loves fast ground, and he loves the mile trip, so Meydan on the turf there is going to be ideal, isn't it?
Exactly. His form over there is very good. We did try him once on the poly track before. We didn't run him obviously on the dirt, which was new last year. But no, we'll be sticking to turf with him. He's rated 104, and hopefully we can pick and choose our way through.
We've got Boom Shakalaka going out there as well, the grey. This is a 5-year-old, Boom Shakalaka. Tell me a little bit about him.
Yeah, Boom Shakalaka, he's a bit of a twilight horse. He's rated 100. Which I think, as you and I were discussing off camera, a horse rated 100, you can run in these big handicaps here, run very well, be beaten 2 lengths and finish 8th, But he's a horse who's done really well around the continent. He's a winner in Germany, a winner in France, and won a listed race in Vichy in July of this year. He's just a horse I feel is bubbling under. We'll probably start him off in the same race as Bill, which is not necessarily ideal, but there's a turf mile race on the 14th of January, and I think that'll be the starting point for him. He showed last year that he can handle the dirt and picked up some decent prize money on the dirt. But I think we'll start off on turf and just see where we go. But at least with him, we do have the options of both surfaces.
As you say, that gives you the option. Last time he went over there, the dirt did seem to suit as well, so it does give you many options, and with 3 horses going out there, that must be nice to have.
It is. I mean, it's unlike as I said, Bill and Boom starting off in the same race. It's not ideal, It wouldn't be plan A, but it's the perfect starting point for both of them. I would imagine that they would then go in their different directions after that.
Yeah.
But who knows? You know, we love being involved in the carnival. There are plenty of races for these horses. If they end up taking on each other, so be it. You know, they'll be you know. If that's the way of it, it's the way of it. But with Boom, we certainly do have the dirt option, as he showed last year.
And what gave you the idea to take him over to places like Frankfurt and to Vichy, you know, France, Germany? Not an everyday occurrence.
No, I mean it's you know, as I mentioned, as a 100 rated horse, you can run around here in very, very competitive handicaps and run very well and not be in the four, not be placed and pick up no money. The owners have had the imagination to go with our plan of travelling the horse, and as I said, you know, he's been placed in group company on the continent, and he's won listed races in both Germany and France. And the Vichy race was a bit of a difficult call because it's a long old journey down there, and we needed to go close, or if not win, to justify the trip. But Franck Blondel gave him a lovely ride, and he won well. He's just a horse. I feel he's sort of bubbling under, and I hope he remains reasonably handicapped off a mark of 100, and I hope it's a mark that we can, you know, go forward from both in Dubai and back here. I hope he might be a horse for the Hunt Cup. He ran well in it this year on very fast ground. If there was just sort of good ground, that would be a sort of mid-season target for him.
Everybody loves a grey. He'll be easy to spot out there in Meydan, won't he?
Yeah, everybody loves a grey, and everybody loves his name, Boom Shakalaka. I think a lot of people keep telling me that they've had money on him. I think they've probably had money on Shakalaka Boom Boom, the horse that's run around in the Grand National a few times. But Boom Shakalaka, now owned by a great bunch of supporters of ours, and you know, everybody loves the grey, and yeah, what a good fun horse he's been.
Intibar is quite interesting. It used to be owned by Sheikh Hamdan Al Maktoum. You've now taken over the training and the new ownership as well.
Yeah.
Just tell me about him a little bit. You got him from just up the road from Brian Mearns.
Exactly. Came to us over a year ago. Proper soft ground horse, and you and I were discussing this off camera. You know, when he won at Fontainebleau the other day, he won at Fontainebleau in September. It was barely raceable. You know, we alluded to the fact that it was probably, you know, even Tremor unraceable, but it was very, very wet, and he went through it. We just have a hunch that the dirt might suit him. We also think being in the sun, a change of scenery, the swimming pool over there, we can hopefully use that with him. I just feel he's a horse who's, you know, who's delighted obviously to see him win a decent prize in France, but again a horse who's just bubbling under, and this is a bit of a change of tack. The downside is limited. You know, we can take him over there. I'd rather have him over there than here during the dog days of January and February, and I do think that the dirt surface, being riding pretty deep, could easily suit him. Time will tell. He's a talented horse who certainly has you know, the best days ahead of him, I hope.
Oh, and what gave you the inclination to try him on the dirt in Dubai? I mean, you wouldn't have anything surface like that over here to sort of even test him out on.
No, I just think, you know, recalling last year and a lot of the boys saying that the surface rode pretty deep turf will suit him. I think it's more, you know, giving the horse something different. You know, I think it'll freshen him up. I think he'll thrive on. He's a hardy horse. He'll thrive on travelling over there, and a bit of sun on his back and a bit of swimming. You know, do you and me the power of good. So I hope it'll do him the power of good.
Absolutely. All his wins have been over 6 furlongs. What kind of trip would you be looking for on the dirt then?
I would stick for. We'll stick for 6. I think he could get 7. Listen, I think it's going to be a little bit of a project with him. We'll kind of suck it and see. We'll go out there, we'll work him on the surface, see how he takes to it, and that will guide us accordingly. If we end up back on the turf, so be it. You know, of course, it's normally fast turf ground out there, but you know, we've all seen you know, big downpours out there, and them racing on, you know, even the easy side of good. So yeah, we'll pick and choose our targets with him. I can't look you in the eye and say definitively which way we're going to go with this horse, but I'm sure it'll do him the power of good going over there.
And having 3 horses out there, is that good for them all to sort of settle in and get used to the surroundings and have each other's company?
I think so, but Patrick and Valerie, my assistant trainers, they will be out there with the horses. They'll be out there together for some of the time and then dovetailing the rest. And they worked out there for many, many years, and they know the place better than anybody. So I think having them in charge, clearly that must help the horses. The fact that they know the routine so well, and they'll get them settled into the barn very quickly. And I guess yes, maybe sort of travelling a gang of 3 is probably easier than taking a single horse. And but the travelling now is. The world is becoming much smaller for all of us, and certainly for racehorses, as we see.
So you're hopeful that get a couple of wins up there, possibly early on in the campaign?
Listen, we had a fantastic season out there early this year. Runner, who's subsequently been sold to America, and Boom Shakalaka and Bill, they all picked up prize money, I think, in almost every single race they ran on. I think there was one race when Boom was out of the money, but we had a fantastic time in terms of prize money, and Bill winning was a great thrill. Listen, if we were to nick one win, I'd be over the moon. If you could give me that now, I'd jump at the opportunity. But I just hope they go out there and enjoy the experience and perform with credit. And it's a big old trip, but I'm sure they all justify being there.